You have now entered a community of impact engineers. Welcome to the BSL Speaks Podcast with your host, Bryan Saint-Louis. Here, we forge the path of leadership by empowering young voices and nurturing the wisdom of seasoned pioneers. Join us as we bridge the gap between generations, blending the fresh perspectives of emerging leaders with the tried and true insights of those who've paved the way. Ready to embrace radical empathy and unlock the boundless potential in our youth? This platform is committed to empowering young visionaries and refining our leadership in homes, communities, schools, and workplaces. Our journey is about more than just personal growth. This is about elevating humanity, one inspired leader at a time. Welcome to the inaugural episode of BSL Speaks Podcast. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy BSL Bryan Saint-Louis, your host and guide on this exciting journey through leadership development, especially empowering our young voices. Tagline is one of my favorite ones that I've ever created. Elevating humanity, one inspired leader at a time. Listen, if you remember, if you do know, it's all good, but I used to run a podcast called Madcasters, Making a Difference Casters, and decided to create the BSL Speaks podcast. Now that's a lot more focused and tailored to leadership, empowering young people, and making sure that we're finding strong solutions to the changes that we want to see in our society, but more so through the lens of leadership development. The reason why I do this is because, I remember as a young man, I used to listen to my father. I used to watch my father. My father, as a leader, has done so much. And one of the very things that he focused on was on youth empowerment. And I really do believe that a lot of the valuable leadership techniques that he has given me, I still incorporate till this day. But that voice that he had in youth empowerment, that shaped me and it led me to do the same. I could vividly remember leading a group of like 30 to 50 young people in the basement of one of his churches, big church. And one of the things that I had to realize, number one, I didn't really know what to do at that time. I was a theology student trying to teach Bible to these kids. But what I ended up realizing is that these kids need someone who is willing to listen to them, someone who's going to be real, authentic, who's going to connect with them, and be vulnerable in that journey and also be genuine with them. And so it taught me quite a bit at the young age of 20, which pretty much ignited my passion to working with youth. And that led me to roles like my youth detention specialist. I became a teacher. I became an administrator for at-risk school. I became a youth pastor, mental health success coach in the school district. And now speaker and leadership coach. I've had the great honor of working with powerful youth leadership. And when I tell you this experience has just blown my mind, being able to work with youth from literally global perspectives, Japan, Russia, Peru, shout out to Peru, great kids out there too, Mexico, Europe, I'm missing so much as well right now as I'm saying this. Taiwan, China, like having that perspective to be able to work with kids from all over the world has really deepened my impression on what it means to be a leader. But one of the things that really helped me now is, as important as it is to uplift and shape our young leaders, one of the things that I've realized is I've learned so much as a youth development coach and teacher and pastor to give to young people. But one of the things that I've also noticed is that there's a lot of adults who don't necessarily have those tools, the philosophy, the thought patterns, the mindset to want to dive deeper and truly help build up our young leaders as well. And so this podcast is really focused also on empowering the young voices, but also uplifting, supporting, and giving the proper resources and tools to the adults in the lives of those who are serving our young populations and leading in our homes. So I'm talking about parents, leading in our schools. So I'm talking about administrators and teachers, our community leaders. This could be individuals who are working jobs, who are working community centers, pastors, wherever you are. We have to become better leaders in society. And so this really is going to be focused on making sure that we have the proper thought processes, philosophies to think through on how we can lead, because we want to leave this generation, this younger generation, better than the way we've had things ourselves. One of the very practices that I've coined and really practiced through, and I'll just be real transparent with this. My wife and I were having a conversation, and she tells me, Bryan, you just live with radical empathy. I heard it and I was like, that's it. Boom, we're taking this. And literally coined it from there, because radical empathy has been the essence in my leadership style, working with youth. And I think that it is something that can transform the way that we're seeing and approaching people around us. Now, I know you may think empathy, and some people think weakness when they hear that. But in fact, there's a lot of power that comes with radical empathy. And we're going to dive into that as well throughout these podcast episodes. But you'll learn more about what this is. And it's a lot more than what you may think. And so I've learned so much about how to positively impact others. And in order to lead the charge and empower more young people, because, at the end of the day, I'm only one person. The goal now is to empower as many adults and other young leaders who will serve our society and serve our youth. And it's going to be used not only to build up our youth, but to, again, uplift our adults. So now it's all about empowering our adults to be able to do what I've done, what other people have done, what we've learned, and now to really build out and shape our society with strong leadership. Each of these experiences have played a crucial role in forging the person that I am today, and I think is going to continuously forge the way that people can think about their style and how they view people as well. And so I'm telling you right now, we're going to have some strong guests, some strong individuals from global perspectives, and we're going to be having the emerging leaders. I'm talking about young people from all ages, all up to the experienced, seasoned leaders as well. We want to make sure that we're getting a myriad of perspectives, of viewpoints, in order for us to build out what it is to truly be a successful leader in today's society. So these diverse roles that we've had, individuals that are going to be on this podcast, from professionals to emerging leaders to students to administrators in schools to change makers, all whatever the case may be, but all centered around those lessons of leadership, resilience, and the power of human connection. But more importantly, I've come to believe that youth are our leaders right now. They're not our future leaders. They are our current leaders. And it's our responsibility to nurture and empower them in this process. And so join me on this podcast journey as we explore the pathways of leadership, personal growth, societal impact. And I truly do believe that together we're going to learn a lot from each other. We're going to share insights. We're going to empower our next generation of leaders. And we're going to make a massive, massive impact, because all of you all, this is another thing that I've coined. We are impact engineers. I love it. Impact engineers. So get ready. I don't even want you to buckle in because we gotta go. We gotta get out the car. We gotta make moves. We gotta get on our jets. We gotta do what needs to be done to make a positive impact. Because again, we are elevating humanity, one inspired leader at a time. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of BSL Speaks Podcast. Your dedication to this journey is greatly appreciated, and I invite you to continue this journey with us on your favorite podcast platform. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and many other podcast sites. Simply search for BSL Speaks to subscribe and stay updated on all our latest episodes, resources, and programs. Your support means the world to us, and we're excited to have you join our community. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and keep engineering impact in all that you do. Until next time.